So bila kita pakai macam ni, macam you Ustazah ke? Ya. You. Oops. Mak tak glamour lah lelang kau ni. Dah masak belum ni? Ni. Okay, can. Try my best to cook what I can. Can I just call? I'll be cooking soup. Is that okay? Assalamualaikum everybody. I'm Ustazah Liyana Musfirah. So I'm excited but nervous at the same time. I cook almost every day for my children at home, but I don't know why I'm nervous today. But I'm gonna try my best to cook what I can. And today I will be cooking something that I always cook for my children at home. So they love to eat soup, and I love Chinese food. You know, those soupy things, soup, fishball soup, fish soup, vegetable soup, chicken soup. Because right now we want something that is soupy, something that can cleanse the system. So I love to cook soup for my children. So today I'll be cooking, I don't know what to call it. Can I just call, I'll be cooking soup, is that okay? So I'll be cooking fishball soup. So these are the ingredients that I have. We have poku mushroom, we have Chinese tofu, we have spring onions and celery. We also have broccolis, we have button mushroom, we have the fresh fish balls. Don't buy the packed ones, because after all right now we want to take care of our health, so try to get all the organic stuff. But if you cannot, it's perfectly fine. Try to get whatever you can. There is garlic and also ginger, and this is the vegetable stock. So right now there's a lot of people using the Maggi stock, the Maggi chicken cube, but I tend to become very careful with my choice of selection for my children. So I found this organic vegetable stock which tastes exactly the same as the Maggi cube. So this is the organic stock. So for those mothers who are thinking to cook something more healthy for the children, you guys can try this stock, okay? Last but not least is the carrot. What is that? Okay, the salt and black pepper and a little bit of sesame oil, just to give that flavor. So we're gonna start. So I've on the stove. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before we start, I always say Bismillah because we don't know what's going to happen. So may Allah make it easy for us. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is so cool, everyone. So we just add some water inside, and this is something that's very, very simple to do. Okay, so I've poured in the water. Let it boil for a little bit. So one of the reasons why I like to cook this for my children and for my family is because there's broccoli and then there's ginger and garlic. These three things, I remember my grandmother always said that they are actually very good for immune system. And right now as a mother, I really want to be the best for my children when it comes to food, when it comes to their daily lifestyle. So we try what we can, right? It's part of our responsibility, our amanah, to be providing the best for our children. So this is one of the simplest things for mothers to help their children boost their immunity. So every day I would make sure my children would eat vegetables. If it's not a lot, maybe once in a day, so I would try my best. So broccoli and carrot would always be in most of my meals for my children. Okay, so now that it is slightly hot, we're going to put in the cut off garlic and ginger. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So since this is for children, usually I cut it very small. One thing is I realized that for families, when they are looking for what to eat during Ramadan, it's always about what the adults would eat. And then they would buy a lot of things for the adults. Right now, they would cook. Right now, we cannot buy anything because there's no physical bazaar, right? Right now, they would always think of what do I want to cook for the parents, what do I want to cook for the older siblings, and then we forget the things that we want to cook for the little children, especially those who want to start fasting. So they also want to eat and enjoy good food. So I tend to realize that most families, they focus too much on what the adults want to eat, But when it comes to the children, it's usually something that's basic. They can eat chicken rice, they can eat this, they can eat that. So I want to put in more effort to make sure the children's food are also as prioritized as the elders' food, inshallah. Okay. So before I started to teach Islam in Singapore, become a religious teacher, I was from Madrasah Al-Saghaf Al-Arabiah for my primary school and also my secondary school. So I was there for I would say 10 years, from primary 1 all the way until secondary 4. Immediately after that, I would go, I actually went to Syria, or some people would know it more as Bumi Sham. I went to Damascus to took quite a few things because I was there for around 4 years, 5 years. So when I was there, the first thing that I took was a diploma in Islamic law, and at the same time, that one was in the morning, at the same time at night, I was taking diploma in da'wah, in Islamic preaching. And then after I'm done with my morning school, which is Islamic law, I took diploma in Arabic because I love Arabic language. After that, Alhamdulillah, I've grabbed whatever diploma that I could at that point of time. I went to take a degree in Islamic banking and finance. I don't know why I took that, because I don't like maths. I'm actually very bad in maths. But I remember my dad, it was my dad's request. I was there for 3 years. So I was studying banking. So can you imagine we had to study maths, accounting in Arabic? It was really epic, but I enjoyed it because we understand how banking works from the Islamic perspective. So I was there for 3 years, and sadly I couldn't finish my last year because of the war. The war was, it was actually very bad because there were blackouts every day. There were no ATM allowed. That was for us to withdraw money. All the markets were closed. So it was very scary at that point of time. So what I did was I went to Egypt after that. I went to Mesir, and I took the entrance test for American Open University, where I decided to continue in Islamic Studies, Dirasah Islamiyah, the Faculty of Islamic Studies. Okay, so I'm going to put in broccoli. You put in the last because you don't want the, what's hasiyat? You don't want the benefits to be eaten up. So put that last. I'm going to put in carrots first. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Put in the carrots. So we are going to put in the carrots. I'm going to put in the mushrooms, and then I'm going to put in the other mushroom, poku mushroom. Just put it in. So let's put more mushrooms inside. Bismillah. I have been conducting Islamic classes ever since 2014. So I remember my very first class was Allah is with the broken-hearted. So I remember I was talking to my former employer, Ustaz Mizi Wahid. I was sharing with him that I just gave birth, and as a new mother, I am struggling to look for classes that covers topic with regards to motherhood. And right now there's a lot of topics, alhamdulillah, lately as of 2020 there's a lot of topics about motherhood, how to juggle parenting, is there such thing as postnatal depression. So how do I feel about it? Life-changing, especially when I managed to get people to start their journey in being connected to religion. I think what's beautiful is when those ladies who feel that they cannot be a practicing Muslim finally start to believe that, hey Ustazah, I am now practicing Islam. So that change or that hijrah journey is basically one of the strongest inspiring factor to make me continue my work. Because I think there are so many ladies that feel that Ustazah, I don't come from madrasah, Ustazah, I don't wear hijab, Ustazah, I don't pray 5 times a day. Does that mean I'm not a good Muslim? So I want them to see Islam more than that. Yes, these are the amal ibadah that you're supposed to do, but there are many other factors that you can also do to be better in religion and to be more connected to God. Yeah. So I have put in the carrots, the mushrooms, both of the mushrooms, the poku mushrooms and the button mushrooms. I just want it to boil a little bit. Carrots are very hard, but this is very sweet carrots because they are organic carrots. So I usually take the baby carrots because my children love the baby carrots than the big carrots because it's much more sweeter. So we want them to eat all the healthy stuff, right? So try to look for the things that they love. So my children love the baby carrots more than the normal carrots. So I'm letting them boil, and then I'm going to put in the tofu, the Chinese tofu. It can be any form of tofu, guys. There's those you eat it with laksa, the one with the brown coating, that one is good as well, but my children prefer this soft one. So I'm just going to put it all in. Bismillah. Don't mix it too hard because it would make the tofu mash. So don't mix it too hard. I'm gonna lower down the api. Bismillah. I'm just gonna make it smaller. Okay. Just fix it in. And recite lots of salawat while you cook, because after all, a mother's prayer for the children is still a very important prayer. And if this is in the month of Ramadan, your prayer will be so much more important. So recite some salawat for your children. Sallallahu ala Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Make prayers for them. Make my children amongst those who are humble, those who have kind heart. Protect them from any form of viruses, right? So any part of your everyday lifestyle, I realize that I can instill some of our religion within. Like when I'm cooking, I would recite dua for them. When I'm teaching them something, I would do my best because I know that's my responsibility. So try your best, okay? Okay, bismillah. While it's being cooked, I'm going to break some egg, okay? Okay. So mash the egg. It's another good source of. This is one of my children's favorite activity. We would do the mashing together, and we would do it as fast as we can. So my children, there are 3 children, right? So they will always argue like, Mama, I want to do first. Mama, I want to do first. So this is where I would nurture the skill of taking turns, negotiate. Okay, who wants to do first? What about the person who will help Mama put in the broccoli? What about the person who can help Mama count the fish balls? So even in cooking, I can still spend quality time with my children. So for those mothers out there who are struggling to find healthy activities to do with their children, right? Because this during the circuit breaker, and then you are stressed out, the everyday things that you have to do, your everyday errands, you bring your children to be part of it, so it's less stressful. But after all, it is, no matter what I said, it's definitely easier said than done. After all, you guys will be the one that's doing it, cooking it with your children, right? So it's another hectic moment altogether, but just try, okay? Okay, so right now, this entire pandemic doesn't only affect our health, it affects our emotional system, our physical system. We get worried, we get sick when we are worried. It affects our social system, education system, and most importantly, our financial system. So I did a lot of question and answer series on my Instagram. I said, how has this pandemic actually affected you individually or as a family? There are a lot of ladies that actually say, Ustazah, I lost my job, I was let go, I was forced to take 2 weeks of no pay leave, and then suddenly they give me the letter that I'm sorry, we don't need you anymore. So now all these students come to me and say, Ustazah, I cannot do anything, I cannot even look forward to Ramadan, knowing that Ramadan and Eidul Fitr, I would not have any job to support me. So I was surprised by the amount of people actually coming to me and not confessing, I would say sharing the bad news that they actually lost their job. Of course, it's easier to say, be patient, understand that this is Allah's plan. Yes, we understand that this is part of Allah's plans, and He has a bigger answer. He has the reasons why this happened. But how do you attend to yourself? When you receive that bad news, you are affected. And when you're affected, you don't want to talk to your family. When you don't want to talk to your family get affected. And then when your family get affected, the entire family unit just broke. When it broke, you all don't want to perform tarawih together. So if you see one problem can cause so many problems. One little issue can cause so many little issue. So one of the things that I would suggest, I think this is a reminder to myself, is to try to look at the things that you have now. Right now, we lost a lot of things. We lost our mosque. We cannot pray at the mosque. The opportunity to get new jobs is very little. So right now, I think our community focus too much on the things we don't have and on the things we can't have. So why not we shift our mindset and focus on the things that we have? Okay, I have a shelter at home. Okay, I have my parents. Okay, I cannot pray outside with my parents. My dad is sad. I witnessed a neighbor of mine, a 74-year-old uncle. He was someone that is very happy. He was laughing the entire time because he's just someone that's very joyful. And ever since he couldn't pray his 5-day prayers, he locked himself in the room. And this is a 78-year-old uncle who just changed from being someone who's very happy. He changed to someone who locked himself in the room and only come out to the kitchen to eat. So I was talking to this uncle. I wanted to understand, why are you very sad? Why are you what's making you feel so down? He said he misses his mosque because his mosque is like his second house, and he always comes to Islah. Actually, he loves Islah mosque. He would walk from his block to Islah mosque. So right now, one of the things I was sharing with him, that I say, uncle, you can pray at home. You miss the congregation prayer, you can pray at home. You still have your wife, you still have your children, you can still pray at home. The jama'ah or the congregation will not be big, but it's still a congregation. The reward will still be the same. You can still bring your sajadah, because he always brings his favorite sajadah over to Islam Mosque. So it's still here. You can try to focus on the things that you have. So I know it's easier said than done. Ustazah can just tell you that, okay, you do this, you do that. But at the end of the day, you are the one that's facing this episode. But please remember to focus on the things that you can and the things that you have, and not think too much of the things that you don't have. Okay, so count our blessing, have a gratitude list, and trust, tawakkul, the third one. So the first one is about counting your blessings, right? The ni'mah that Allah has given you. The second one is to have a gratitude list. Be shukr with everything that Allah has given you. You still have your family. You are not affected by the COVID-19. Alhamdulillah, your health is with you. MashaAllah. The third one is tawakkul. Yes, you can do your best right now. You can try to wear 10 masks. I don't know, you can practice social distancing. By the end of the day, have tawakkul that Allah is going to handle everything else. Okay, so now this fishball looks so tempting. I'm going to put them inside. I don't like to cut them because my children say, Mama, I want fishball. So they would like full fishball. So I don't cut them. I'm just going to put them all in. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, so I've just put in the fish balls in. I'm just going to mix them together. I have put in broccolis. It's so nice. Look, it looks like little trees. So it makes your children like, you are eating little trees. Broccolis are little trees. So when you eat little trees, it makes you super strong. You can fight the coronavirus. I teach my children about the coronavirus. So I teach my children, I say, we cannot go out. They are very sad. They wanted to meet their friends. They wanted to go to the indoor playground. So I said, we can't go out. And then they asked why. So I shared information. I said, because there's coronavirus out there, so we have to be very careful. So one of the tips, parents, if you want your children to eat healthy food, say, oh, you don't want the coronavirus to attack your immune system, so you have to eat all the healthy food. And it has worked for me so far, so alhamdulillah. Okay, I'm going to put in su'un. This is not bihun, guys. This is su'un. It looks like bihun, but it's more glistening. Don't put too much, just put a little bit. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It looks like bihun, but it's actually not. Is that enough? Let me see if it's, you can put more based on what your family needs, but for me, I'm just going to put just that. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Don't forget to recite as many salawat as you can while you cook. Okay, I think I'm going to put a little bit more because I love su'un, so I'm going to put a little bit more. It's healthy eating, guys, not a single cooking oil. Okay, so practice healthy eating. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Just a little bit more, I think that's fine. Okay, so while we are allowing the vegetables to cook with the soup, I'm going to do something else that is going to help us through this COVID-19 episode. Right now, we want something that can help to boost our immunity. And when you're at home the entire time, you tend to feel very restless. You tend to feel very, what's the word? You don't have energy. You tend to feel very sluggish. So I am going to do a smoothie where inshallah is going to help you with your health and it makes you feel very energetic, okay? So the first one is beetroot, fresh beetroot. The color doesn't look nice, but I'm telling you the benefits is amazing. I have very low red blood cells, so I have very low energy, okay? And for mothers who want to always be with the children, you always lose energy because you're very active. So beetroot is really helpful for energy, okay? Because it brings red blood, not red blood, it brings your oxygen to your entire body. So beetroot, chia seed. You can get chia seed at NTUC, at Jaya, you can get organic chia seed everywhere. So make sure you soak your chia seed for a little bit. Just put a few spoons, soak them. I've already soaked mine. I prepared my chia seed already. Any honey is fine, but be very careful. Don't take those with high level of sugar. Take the original honey because it's more healthier. And lemon, that's it. For this smoothie, there's just beetroot, lemon, chia seed, and honey. Okay, so I'm going to cut the beetroot. I'm going to blend them in. Allahu Akbar. Okay, so don't forget to put ice, guys. So cut the beetroot a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put the beetroot inside. So you put everything inside, okay? Beetroot, honey, chia seed, and then you squeeze in some lemon. If you want it to be more sour, can put in more lemon. If you want it to be more sweet, can put in more honey. So we're going to blend this, okay? Okay, so we have blended the juice. Alhamdulillah. It's super cool because there's ice cubes inside, and it's amazing for iftar. So you're like the entire day you don't drink anything and then you drink this. Is amazing. So I'm going to pour that inside, okay? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, so we have the juice. Last but not least, I'll be putting in the cube. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the organic vegetables cube. Just put it in. Bismillah. Just put in a little bit of salt. Just enough. Then, and some black pepper. Okay. We want to do the restaurant quality and we want to make our dishes at home look like restaurant friendly because we cannot go to restaurants to have our dinner or our lunch. So I'll be teaching you how I do my egg. I think I've passed it. I don't know, but I'm going to give it a try. So you mash your egg all together. Make sure it's completely yellow. Of course, egg yolks are yellow, right? Anyway. So make sure there's a distance, okay? And don't immediately pour it all in because my children like that very soft effect of egg. So make sure there's a distance and then you put it bit by bit while you're actually stirring the soup. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah, it always works. I don't know if this will work today, but inshallah. So bit by bit, and you have to make sure that you are stirring extremely fast. Okay? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And egg is a very good source of protein, guys. Okay. Okay. Yay, alhamdulillah, it's getting the effect I was looking for. It looks like shark fin. So if you cannot get the shark fin, you can make it look like this. So continue stirring and until you get the effect that you wanted. Just sprinkle the spring onion and the celery at the very end, okay? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's give this a try. Ya Allah, please make this delicious. Oh, guys. Alhamdulillah. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so just sprinkle the spring onions just a little bit, and also what is it just now? Celery. And you're done. And last, magic touch, mothers, a little bit only, a little bit of sesame oil, cannot be too much. Okay, that's it. So that's the only oil we use for this meal. I don't use any cooking oil, any vegetable oil, nothing. It's just a little bit of sesame oil to get that pinch of magic taste. Okay, I'm done. So let's serve it. Okay, so this year Ramadan is going to be extremely different because we cannot celebrate and we cannot embrace Ramadan this year as how we actually celebrated the last few years. But I'm not going to allow that to make me sad because I think Ramadan is still Ramadan. So I'm going to pray Tarawih at home with my family. I'm going to pray Tarawih with my children. I'm going to finish up my Quran Khatam inshallah at home. So I will be doing a lot of Ramadan classes from home, and I want all of us to remember, I think one of the things that all of us can remember is that as much as things are very difficult right now, Ramadan is still going to be a special month. It is not a month that can only be celebrated in mosque. It is not a month that you can only feel the beauty and the holiness of that month when you're in mosque. You can still perform your Qiyamul Lail at home. You can still perform your Tarawih at home. You can still attend religious classes at the comfort of your own home. So just like what I said earlier, you don't have to focus on the things that you don't have. Don't focus on the things that you can't have, but focus on the things that we already have. Okay, so make Ramadan beautiful at the comfort of your own home. So please focus on the things that you have and only focus on the good things. Okay, so I would like to extend my best wishes to everyone out there who's watching this. A very blessed Ramadan to everyone, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easier for every one of us. May He allow this pandemic to pass by. May He allow healing and fast recovery for those who are sick and for those who are affected by this illness, and may He accept all of our amal ibadah inshallah on this very special month, and I hope to see you inshallah in the next opportunity.